Mentorship and resilience forge strength. Lessons in adversity uplift
Excited
generations.
to be here, fellas. And I want to share with you the importance and power of mentorship and how I grew up single family home. My dad wasn't around. And so my mentor was my uncle. Mentors can come in different shapes, form, different areas. You can be your coach. It can be somebody from church. It can be a relative. But a mentor is like somebody who's going to help you navigate through life, give you the wisdom and knowledge that you don't quite or have not quite developed yet over time, right? There's going to be trials and tribulations in your journey from high school to college and on. And you're going to have different opportunities to connect with other mentors in those different stages to help you move through, right? And I wouldn't be a barber. I wouldn't be the man I am here if I wouldn't have had my uncle mentor me, father figure. He helped me become the man I am and directed me after I finished high school. I went to junior college for a couple of years, but it wasn't really for me. So I took a year off, and in between that year off, no direction, dead end jobs. And my uncle put me to the side and said, I'm here to help you and guide you, direct you. You can either go back to school, wasn't happening, go to the military, wasn't an option, or he thought that I would be a good barber based on my communication skills, hand skills. I had never cut hair before. It wasn't a thing for me. But again, I had no direction. So I said, this was in 88, right? Graduated in 86. 89, finished barber school. What I didn't know, he had a vision, not just for me, but he had a vision for my younger brother who looked up to me and my younger cousin who also looked up to me. And his vision was if he gets me focusing on track with a career, then they will follow suit, which they did. My younger brother, after he graduated high school, a year after I'd been barbering, he went to barber school, same one I went to, and became a barber. My cousin did the same thing. So it was three of us in the family. Over my career, I had 2 barbershops back in Michigan because that's where I'm from. And the barber school I attended, I went back and I purchased it with my cousin. We recently are in the process of selling it. I've written a book about my career, which is on Amazon. Life lessons you can learn from barbering. 2 shops book. And I share these things with you not to impress you, but to impress upon you that if I wouldn't have had a mentor like my uncle to direct me, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish any of these things because I still would have been lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? So if you see, again, if you see somebody like your coach and you're stepping back and you're seeing their lifestyle and how they're moving, and you're like, well, I want to be like it. You can just be like, coach or somebody, whoever, family member, can you mentor me? Most individuals who have been through what you're going through will be happy to guide you and direct you from church, neighborhood, especially if you see them as a positive influence in the neighborhood or community surrounding, right? So again, from Detroit, Michigan, moved here in 03, fast forward through my career, right? Traumatic event occurs June 7th, 2023. I lose my leg. This is new, right? So lost my leg because of blood clots. Kennestone Hospital, I was there for 6 weeks. I had 6 different surgeries. It was very traumatic. It was bad, right? But as my family came to visit me, Sam came to visit me, his brother, I had a lot of support, a lot of love. I said to my family that I can't allow this to define me, but redefine me, right? I had to make it purposeful in letting individuals know they can move through trauma. It doesn't have to stop you. Mentally and emotionally, I had to be more resilient to be able to recover from this and be a beacon of hope for others. If you understand what I'm saying. and in a way where people can understand that it's okay to have traumas, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically, whatever it is, right? But those traumas can build you to be stronger, to help others, to be a blessing. And that's what I'm trying to do, right? So the same way when I got out of the hospital, I was home for about a week and a half, maybe 10 days. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being cooped up. I was cooped up in the hospital for 6 weeks. And I was home, saw all the Netflix and Amazon movies I caught up on. And after that, I was like, I got to get out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going back to work. One leg, crutches. I'm going to get a stool. So I went back to work. Resilience. I could have laid around. I could have made excuses. I could have whined and crying about, woe is me. I lost my leg. And everybody would have been understanding, right? It's not me, right? So I go back to work on a stool for about, I started part-time, 3 days a week, half days, and then until I built my stamina up, right? And then as I built my stamina up, added more days, more hours. It was good to be back in the environment with my clients, my friends, hanging out, kicking it, barbershop, right? So fast forward, I was going back and forth to wound care to see, how long it would take for my leg to limb to heal and then get my prosthetic. Fast forward, November, I got fitted for my prosthetic. December, I got my prosthetic. And I started physical therapy the same day. When I started physical therapy, I talked to my physical therapist and he asked me what my goals were and what I wanted to accomplish as far as, moving forward. I said, I want to get back to doing the things I did before, playing golf, bowling, working out in the gym, and I'm back doing all those things. And I said, is it realistic for me to want to get back walking hands-free like I am now in 90 days? He said, 90 days is a bit ambitious. Realistically, it's more like 6 to 9 months to learn how to walk again, basically. And in my mind, I'm like, nah, he must think I'm an average guy, right? So 90 days, I'm done. I went from, when I got my prosthetic, I still had to be on crutches because I didn't have the strength to, put pressure on walking. So I went from 2 crutches, 30 days, 1 crutch, 30 days, to a cane. And then one day I walked into physical therapy with my cane. And he said, let me see you walk without the cane. And I walked without, he said, man, you don't need that cane. So I was like, okay. So I was done. And since then, so I finished physical therapy February. March, April, my prosthetic doctor asked me if I wanted to be a part of a golf scramble. So golf scramble, for you those that don't know, is foursome plays, and everybody hits the ball. Best ball goes forward, right? So 18 holes, right? This was last April. So last April I did it, had a great time, met some other amputees. The guy who puts it on is Adaptive Life Foundation. He does it every year, like the last 5 years. And last year I could only go 15 holes because there was a lot of up and down hills. It was real challenging for me. So this year I did the same tournament. My team took second. I finished all 18 holes. I killed it. So my endurance had built up a lot. For example, November 28th, Thanksgiving, it was my birthday. I got up and I did 5K, 3.1 miles. Very challenging. But again, building my endurance, building my resilience, making me stronger. I got another 5K coming up in May. And I'm trying to, and I have a motivational Instagram page and a YouTube page where I try to show what I do for other amputees to be able to take that and use that as an example to move forward, right? FYI, my shirt, Limb Loss Awareness Month. April is Limb Loss Awareness Month. And obviously the ribbon is orange. And the reason it says limb loss and not amputee, because some people were born without a limb. So then they weren't amputated. So to cover everybody within they showed me limb loss. So that's pretty much my story. But what I try to emphasize in resilience, that in your life, you're going to have traumas. You're going to have things that are going to cause you to maybe want to quit. But if you say to yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I become better from this? How can I help somebody once I become better from this situation, this experience, whatever it is? So, because it's not about external things that go around that happen to you. It's about internally how you handle it and how you deal with it, mentally, emotionally. Whether you have a bad season, you bounce back next season. What do you need to do to get stronger and be better for the next season? Right? You can't look at it as, oh, this was a bad season. It was a learning experience, right? That's what you need to focus on. Because if you focus on the negative, what you focus on gets bigger. You focus on positive things to help you move forward, then you'll move forward. You focus on negative things, then you'll find yourself in a bad place. And when I was going through this, there was times where I was in a dark place, mentally and emotionally, when I lost my leg. But I couldn't allow myself to focus on that, because I would find myself in a dark place, so dark that I can't even see a way out, right? Nobody wants to be there. It's not healthy mentally, emotionally, you know. God blessed me with the strength to move forward and help others. Hence why I'm here sharing with you my experience. And what I need you guys to try to take from this is, first of all, why are you here, and what is it that you can take away from my story that can help you and better you, right? To help you be better in class, to help you be a better student, to help you be a better son, brother, nephew to the people around you. You know, it happens from internal. As you grow and you can help others grow too, because we're a community, right? I'm here to help you guys grow, mature with the knowledge from my past experience. So then you can move forward at some stage, mentally and emotionally, to help others. That's the goal. Questions? Sam!
I got one. When what has happened to you is not fair, what's your mentality because what you're dealing with is not fair. There's no explanation. It's nothing you did wrong. So, like, what's your mentality when addressing something that's happened to you, genuinely happened to you?
You know, that's a good question. And I heard somebody talk about that. And as regular human beings, we try to find the logic in circumstances that happen to you, right? But if there is no logic, then you have to move on, because the reasoning is beyond our earthly understanding. And if you have a spiritual base and hope of God having a purpose for everything that happens to you, then you have to let that go. Because if you don't, again, you'll get stuck in, woe is me, why this happened to me, it's not my fault, and you can't move forward. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Before we go, I also have a question. I mean, you mentioned, like, hey, this traumatic event coming out of nowhere, something that was unfair. Like, what do you think it was that allowed you to build up the resilience up to that point to not get knocked down by that event happening? Like, were there things that had prepped you for that moment over time so that you could overcome it and rise to the occasion, rather than just getting knocked off your feet and never coming back?
Yeah, so great question. In my journey, there's been small, traumas or mental breakdowns, not mental breakdowns, like, oh my God. that that helped me build resilience over time. Plus, loving, supporting family. You know, a lot of people who don't have, like, I forgot to share. So on Wednesdays, I go back to the hospital. Did I say that? Well, I didn't think so. So I go back to the hospital on Wednesdays, sometimes Mondays, Cobb, Wellstar, and Kennestone, and I speak with other amputees to help them move forward, right? So giving back helps them heal, helps me heal and move forward. But to your point, though, if I didn't have a loving, supporting family over time, I wouldn't have them to lean on when times were dark, right? And that helped me move forward as well. And when I bring out the point of visiting patients at Cobb Wellstar, because I've visited amputee patients that when I talk to them, you know, they don't have a lot of people coming to visit them and they don't have a lot of support. So that makes me reflect, like, being really grateful for all the support I had when I was in the hospital. And that helped me move through. But to your point again, through my 20s and 30s and 40s, I've had a lot of things that go up and down in my life, right? That help build resilience, right? Things that push you down and you push back, you keep moving forward. And as you get older, you know, you look back at the things that you went through and you realize, again, to my point, if you learn from it and you grow from it, you grow through it, then when things hit you, you handle it a little better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had my moments where it was bad, it was dark, but I'm here. I'm alive. I can talk to you, share with you. That's it.